Okay, so what going
What going
on?
on?
Welcome to episode 2 of Bite to Bullet podcast. It's the girl, it's JoJo.
And it's me, HadieLeonie.
Yo,
It's episode 2.
I ready. After we filmed episode 1, I was like, guys, can we film again? Like, I'm ready for episode 2 one time.
Oh, but I know you. I tell you, even though I end the podcast and we end the podcast, I was like, "It's done
Already? Yo.
Like, we gotta give more."
Nah, it's fast, but thank you guys
Oh,
so much. Let's start this off by saying thank
yes.
y'all. Heavy. The
Oh,
feedback we getting, like all the
support.
constructive criticism, all the support, all the likes, all the subscriptions,
the love.
all of it. Like, guys,
Nah,
we
it's
really appreciate it.
that fueled me even more. Like, okay, like.
Yeah.
Okay, like we had no, when we start,
Yeah.
but no. This is something I have to ask you.
Oh, shit. Wait, hold up. Let me big up Mando real quick.
Yeah.
Mando is in the building.
Mando is in the building.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Okay. Now you can ask me the question. Guys, I scared for this question. Because
Why?
she was like, what? You gonna ask the question?
But it
on
was
the
just-
spot.
But I already feel like I know what your answer going to be. It's not that wild. But no, me and Jody could be very critical of ourselves.
Very.
That's something we have in common. And I don't want, as we go through the podcast, to be like, oh my God, we do this and this and this as we watch back episodes.
Yeah.
But seeing as this is episode 2, I want to extend us both some grace. Like, 1, what's something you would feel like you wanted to like further elaborate
Ooh.
in episode 1 that you didn't get to do? But I feel like it's the same thing that I had because we had a whole discussion about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
But I don't know if that was
Wait.
the
We had
whole
all
like,
this-
you know, Bite the Bullet, the intro, what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if that's what it is.
No, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, like for us, well, for me, in the beginning, guys, I was shitting it.
You was what? Shit.
Oh,
No, you
my
was not.
days. Okay, I wasn't really. I was really excited, but like I was just ready to get in there. So I feel like the one thing I would elaborate more on
Mm-hmm.
is like how we start this because the
Mhm.
story is cute and it's
cute.
I don't know, it's poetic.
But
to
for me,
us.
it's the same thing, and that's why I say I know it would have been the same thing. But for me, it
Yeah.
was also that, but also why we choose Bite the Bullet exactly. I don't feel like
Facts.
we explain.
Well, let me hear your take because I remember why I had said I choose Bite the Bullet.
I don't
but-
remember the options. I had 3 options.
2 peas on a pod.
Oh fuck yeah!
Bite the Bullet and
I don't know.
I forget the third one.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we're gonna probably get into it as to like how we come to the idea of a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just very similar to the people we very similar in that way. But the actual meaning of Bite the Bullet, if you watch,
Sorry.
if you watch the promo, not the announcement video, it's right in the beginning. It means to do something difficult or unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we both, that's just our essence. That's how we operate in life.
Big facts.
And that was kind of like the theme of a lot of our conversations.
Yeah, I think it applies to us in the content we're going to bring, but also who we are as people. For me, you know me, them cold showers. I like to
It's
do
gonna-
things that are difficult.
I feel like I just always be so, like, something I need people to know is that my friend takes cold showers.
I take cold showers, guys. No, but it's just putting yourself in a position to do something hard
Mm-hmm.
creates that extra level of your limits. So I think for us, we was like, okay, for one, doing the podcast in itself
Yeah.
is based on our experience and everything too, just stepping out of that comfort zone of like doing something with someone again
Yeah.
and like seeing how it goes. I think for us, we built that bond and like just that we raw.
But that was also something I don't feel like we explained properly because when
No.
we first had the idea in the end of 2021, we thought about it, but I was just like, it was like a no offense thing, but I don't feel like I know you well enough yet
Yep.
to get into a
And I completely understand that because this was one of the difficult things where it's like,
yeah.
yo, we could
Yeah.
start this. I don't know how you deal with stress. I don't know how even taking like feedback and criticism.
Mhm.
Like sometimes we had our moment where guys, Haiti give me some feedback and I was shitting it again. But that is like
Oh.
matter of, you know, I don't know. We started to get used to how we speak.
Mhm.
And one thing I hold there with us is
Mhm.
that we say it like it is.
Oh,
Even if
true.
we know it's gonna hurt the other person's feelings, yes, you could deliver it
Yeah.
or whatever, but at the end of the day, I know you're gonna be straight up. So I feel like for us, it was just a matter of just do it.
Yeah.
And then we thought, let's just do it.
Yeah, I think it literally took us like a year of our piano parties.
You know.
And like
you know.
last year that was like we really spent a lot of time together last year. A lot of
Yeah.
couch conversations on this very couch.
Facts.
Remember at your birthday you asked at one moment it was and
yeah.
I'm not gonna ever tell that story, but like
No.
it was on this couch. It was on that moment that I was like, nah.
We cool.
It's dirty.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of how we end up. Just because it's like we had the idea from when we first link up like that, but it was just like
exactly. And the other difficult aspect in like the content is, like we mentioned in the last episode, we're gonna talk about some difficult topics. Today we got some difficult topics in store for you guys. That's one thing I can say. So it's just being open and doing that while also growing together.
Yeah.
That's where Bite the Bullet come from. For me, when Haiti had said Bite the Bullet, I was like, this is fate. Because I have one of my favorite songs when I was in Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in Malaysia and I was under so much stress, I just kept listening to this song and it sounds so nice. I forgot the singer, but big hot
Melanie Fiona?
It's Melanie Fiona.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when you send like the suggestions and I see Bite the Bullet, I said, nah, that's it.
Yeah,
BTB.
You did say
I was
that.
like,
And
we
you were
could
like,
brand
BTB.
this BTB.
Hashtag BTB, by the way, guys. Like,
and we want to be creative with it too. Like, come out with segments, you know, shots fired, Russian roulette, all of that.
Arsenal.
And the analogies that can be formed. Oh my God. So,
yeah, we had just feel that. And then I think you had crowdsourced a little.
Yep, for
and
sure.
everybody was feeling Bite the Bullet the most.
It applies to us the most.
Yeah.
We biting the bullet from day one. From time I reach out. But yeah, so for today.
No, but okay. Because last week, last week, I don't know. But last week, when we was about to record the first episode, we was on the phone a time before that. And you was like, I love the movie. You people so much that you watch it twice. And I remember in a moment, I was like, the movie I watched? Like, she watched the same
movie. Did we watch the same movie?
Yeah. But even in that, I was like, I wonder, in the same topic of like us being critical of ourselves, like these actors and directors and what you just call the people that actually make the movie, the producers. Like, if they just be critical, or they work?
110%.
You think so?
But how critical? Are they like Jodie critical? Or like...
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. But I just was wondering, like, were they critical?
I think
so. Because I don't feel like they were. And okay, I don't want to shit on the entire movie.
Now I get you.
You know, but like I just really was like, because we were talking about the producer, Kenya Barris.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. He make mixed-ish, grown-ish.
All the issues.
The issues
Black-ish.
series. He also had made this series about his actual life. And that was so stupid. Like the series itself on
Tell
Netflix.
me how you feel.
Black as Fuck, I think is the name of it.
I didn't even watch that. I saw it, but it made me cringe. Like,
but that's what I mean. Like the shit. Okay, I had personally loved Black-ish. But then when it started going into the grown-ish and the mixed-ish, like I get the mixed-ish aspect of stuff, but I was just like...
Question. Black-ish is the one when the father kept wearing the jumpsuits that was designer?
He was wearing jumpsuits?
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Then I talking about the wrong one.
I don't know if he does, but he just always have designer clothes on. Like he fresh as fuck. Andre Johnson.
Yeah, I ain't even watch it like that, so I don't, but I get where you're going with it.
Yeah, but okay, it wasn't about the Blackish thing, but he make you people. And if I had known that beforehand, I would have gone in with less expectation. But I just wonder if he just look at his work I can't compare our first episode. Like
Yeah.
how critical we was
Yeah.
for episode 1. But I'd just be like, at some point, somebody got to say something. Because I think I pronouncing this movie right because it was always
It's you people.
Intergalactic.
Intergalactic. That was a phenomenal movie.
And
though.
he was part of that. And it's just like,
it's two different things. But yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying before when we was talking about it, where it's like not every movie going to be.
Yeah, true.
So he probably checking like this movie voldoende, like it's good enough in a sense. Well, for me, I liked it because I laughed.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, the comedy part of it was, but I just feel like it had a lot of a hit and miss thing with it. Like the whole thing being about race.
Yeah.
Like I tell you that, like in this day and age, if you're gonna do that, do it right. Like there's nowhere in hell Lauren London going to be coming from Eddie Murphy and Nia Long. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
The whole the whole Lauren London being paired with Jonah Hill.
The lack of chemistry was very apparent. Like I felt it watching the movie. That's the one thing.
But just and you had sent me a post where somebody was like, if you realize that like they actually ain't had that much scenes being intimate, but I just realized they actually, I think you had said that, Amando, that they just didn't even really show the love story at all. It just was like they meet and then you just start to see all the like opinions and external factors of the family and what was going on. But it's like I didn't feel like we see how in the beginning, remember the other moments where it was in the bed, and I don't want to spoil
underneath
the movie.
The blanket,
that was cute moments and stuff like that, but I feel like they just then rush from scene to scene and it's like okay, and then
I know exactly what you mean. For me watching it, I didn't believe they was in love, but
no,
I don't know, for me it was just you could see the lack of chemistry. Look at Lauren London from ATL and then look at Lauren London on You People.
But I just realized she was in a movie with Michael B. Jordan recently, but I didn't watch it.
Me either.
You know what
I didn't hear about it. No.
It was some movie where it's like he a soldier and he died, but I gotta watch it.
I saw the trailer, but I don't know. I never watched. It probably wasn't that good because I didn't hear about it.
I don't know, but in general, I was telling you, I just don't feel like she's a good actor. Like, she's just not one of those people, like, when they're in a movie, I'd just be like, because I know it's going to be good, I gotta watch this. I don't have that for her. And somebody put on Twitter, and it was so, like, they say it better than me. They was like, Lauren London and even Lala, because Lala was in the movie. Yeah. They're the type of actors who's, like, very cute to look at.
She is fine.
But the acting is flat.
Maybe that's why I had like it. I don't know. For me, I could
fine,
look
though,
past
like
the
Lauren
acting,
London,
the dimples.
And even though that she get thicker.
I ain't gonna lie, I could look past the bad acting with dimples. Like, when she's fine. But no, I liked
really
it in general. I think for me, I just enjoyed the shits and giggles of it all. But also just, Eddie Murphy had to remind me of my father a little bit in how he's so serious sometimes. And when he was calling his own son stupid when they were sitting at a table. I was like, yo. Like,
I had like the dynamic with her brother. Like, even I don't know who he is. I never see the actor.
Me though.
The podcast scenes.
For me, that hit. Because when I watched the movie, I didn't see no trailer. I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, yo, I want to watch something. And the first scene was on a podcast. I was like, guys, this is fate.
And his co-host, I just love. I don't know. I feel like I see her before, but I feel like she carry a lot of the comedy scenes.
Yeah.
In the movie, in my opinion, but
I
don't know. I don't know.
I had a question for you though from the movie, like, how do you feel about interracial relationships?
Jody, you want to go there?
It's a heavy one, guys. I think let me live up to the name, bite the bullet. We're gonna have a difficult conversation today. I mean, I'm very curious because there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of opinions.
Well, okay. My honest and blunt opinion, and I guess I see they have interracial, I guess, with black and white, and they just have other
Can we say a disclaimer before we get into this?
Tell the people.
Y'all, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
So as you are listening to this, please understand we are going to give ours. So we have comment section. We have like message DMs. If y'all want to chime in and give your perspective, we are so here for it.
But I don't want people to chime in and tell me, like, you cancel based on what you say. Like, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we could talk about cancel culture, but that's another conversation.
That's another day. Save that for another day. But like, I don't know. I feel like I have opinions that a lot of people not necessarily agree with, but these are my opinions.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm glad you give the disclaimer because when it comes to this, you have interracial when it comes to like black and white, and you have interracial like you could just be like an Indian and a Chinese couple.
Yeah.
But I can always speak from the perspective as a black person, because if I have to get in an interracial relationship like how that would look like, and it's just like
Mando, you could chime in too, you
why
know.
he just said like
I'm trying my best not to. Yeah.
Why not? But I don't know. I feel like when we say interracial, we often think black and white. And funny enough, this was also a topic on Twitter recently. Like, why do we do that?
Side note, I downloaded Twitter.
Fine, I've been telling her. All the St. Martin Twitter, we have like a St. Martin Twitter club. Like, welcome, Jody.
Thank you.
Because I don't know, I just love it. I love it on there. I like the St. Martin space on there. Like, I don't know. But yeah, no, I feel like I lose my train of thought. Oh no, I was trying to say that like, for me, I often think, and a lot of people just think interracial is black and white. So I going from that perspective talking now.
Okay.
But I personally, I can't fucks with it for myself. I feel like I wish everybody the best, do what you want for yourself. But me personally, I can't fuck with it just I just very blackety black. I very Caribbean. Like, I don't want to have to, there's a number of reasons why. Like, I don't want to have to come home. And I know there's a lot of white people out there that's for the culture. They stand with us. They understand, like, a lot of what we just go through. They just do their best not to be ignorant.
Yeah.
But you're just not black. So, like, I don't want to have to come home and, like, for example, I just say some shit. It could just be, like, I say some St. Martin shit or do some St. Martin shit and just have to explain that. Like, I don't want to, I feel like I deal with it outside in the world. I don't want to come home to it. Like, I have to explain colleagues things sometimes. I have to explain, like, I don't know if I don't really have white friends. I was going to say I have to explain. I was gonna say I have to explain my white friends, but I don't have any. But like, if I did, I would feel like you would have to be open to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I know people who have white friends, so they have to have those conversations. And it's like, you already deal with it. You go out into the world being very cautious that you're a black person. And I just don't want to have to, like, I feel like my home needs to be my safe space. And personally, I don't feel safe around white people. Like, I don't feel like I could be myself. And maybe that's a thing.
No, I understand it. Like, for example, in the way we speak.
Yeah.
I experienced that where, guys, I speak rough. It's part of my character. And I notice how it has been taken in different situations, even in a workplace. And it's like, I don't know, for me to have people understand that, like, even when I'm sitting down with y'all talking, I could speak exactly how I speak and express myself in a way that we all understand. And just to kind of put yourself out of that and to a level, water yourself down to accommodate other people's used to actions.
And not fucking with that.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like I do that. I go to work. I code switch a lot. I was even, funny enough, and she might watch this, one of my colleagues, she mentioned the podcast in front of other colleagues. And I was like,
oh, shit.
Bitch.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's a secret.
And I was like, and she looked at me like, why? And I was just like, I personally feel like we could sit there and be like, they don't judge us. But like, I personally feel like they always have like looking at us from a filter.
From their filter.
Yeah. And they filter in it through their ignorance. You know what I mean? And I just don't want them to see me being Haiti, I guess. And it sounds wild. But I just had like weird experiences when I used to live Groningen, for example, and go to school there rather than that. They just look at you like, oh, like you're some spectacle that.
Yeah, just like Lauren said, like a toy in a sense, where it's like you're not seeing a human. You're seeing somebody based off of like a background, and you just pinpointing it. Like, you don't let it flow. Interactions with them don't flow because you're so busy noticing things. Whereas with us, it flows because we're not out here. Oh, I noticed she just said this like this. No. Oh, I noticed she just did that like that. Shut up.
No, and I really like, let's just be very honest, on the scale of black, I'm just very prominently black. Like, I walk out into the world and you could see I'm black. So it's like, I deal with that shit every day. I deal with the people, my coworkers touching my hair every day. Like, I switch my hairstyle. It's like, how long did it take? I deal with those shit all the time. So it's just, at a point in my life where it's just, I can't deal. I just would not be able to bring that into my house.
Nah, I completely
this could be, let's not say if 3 years from now I used to hate it with a white man, like, I gonna come back here and
I gonna replay this episode at your wedding. I gonna be like, time for a speech, guys. And I gonna put up this episode one time.
Oh, God. But just then know that person must have had me feeling so comfortable that, like, I was able to do that. But I don't know. I feel like it has even take a while for me to even feel comfortable to just, I don't know.
But I feel like you got different breeds in a sense. Like, you do have those white people who grew up in predominantly Black neighborhoods and whatnot. And to a level, they could not relate in a sense of understanding, but you have that level of you don't feel like they noticing things because they're so used to it. They're so in the culture.
To it. Yeah, and they're not questioning it because they're cultured. There's white cultured people, but I have been around those kind of people, and I could be more myself.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there's the aspect of being a smart, you know. Like,
I get you.
Simple things like before I went work where I work, everybody and I do like the put your back in it. Put your back in it. I had to do that video that had end up on that Caribbean thing. But it was still on my TikTok before I reached where I work. And just things like having to explain why that's just normal.
Facts.
For example, but that's a very Caribbean thing, you know? And it's just like, I just can't fuck with it. But that's just even one thing. The other part of it is like, I think of like the fact of starting a family with a person. I just, this is so fuck up. Apologies, guys. Like, I just can't see myself bearing a child for a white man. Like, to the point that like my child could walk around saying that their other parent is white, or just that my descendant of my descendant is white. No, the descendant of that my descendant
that is white.
Yeah. Or have white trademarks or whatever. What would say that?
Genes.
They just have white genes in them. That fuck just blew my mind. And that, I don't know if that sounds a bit racist, but
for me it sounds like a preference based off of like your experience.
But
and
why? What preference then? What a preference that I don't
in a sense of like, you know, a lot of the history like that white people carry.
Yeah.
And for you is like, you proud in your skin.
Very.
And you want to continue to cultivate that. Like,
that is exactly what it is. I want to continue the Black family. Like,
yeah.
I grew up with very Black parents as well. Both parents, like my father had a brother that was like in Black Panthers in America. Yeah. Like my mother's side of the family just very, very Black.
You know as well, like the other day, I was checking like, now I'm on the podcast and I know this would come up. And I went to my mother and I was just like, Mommy, what am I? Like, because I'm mixed, but my mom is from Suriname and my dad is from St. Lucia. But of course, when you go to the descendants or whatever from my mother's side,
not the Lucians.
You know, the Lucians. My father is from like the African side, of course. But then you have the European side. So
yeah, I mean, what you was when it comes to the European.
Yeah, because
you didn't know.
I didn't know. I knew myself as Black until it became a conversation of like, I always knew I was mixed, and I never felt like a part of. I was Black. I just felt a part of the community of Black people. But like more and more as it became a conversation, I felt more and more mixed.
And well, when that was?
Like, I don't know. I think like after I moved NL.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in NL, I feel Black because people over here.
If you're not Dutch, you're not Black. Dutch.
Exactly.
So,
honestly
like,
and truly. But then even going to Ghana, I felt white. Like, I didn't feel white in myself, but you just see like a different kind of reception of you.
But they also just see you as like a non-Black person.
No, they saw me as a Caribbean girl. They saw me as a Caribbean girl.
Okay.
But they know I'm a foreigner. That was it. That's what made it was me in my head thinking that they didn't see me as like not Black, but saw me as a foreigner. So in my head, I was just wondering, like,
I get what you mean. Like they saw you as like what the Dutch people see us as, in a way, even though they're black people. So it's like, basically, you get what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I just went to her and she was like, it's wild you asked me that, in a sense of like, you just never cared about that, because I really didn't until it became a conversation. Like I always saw myself as who I am, print.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing of, you have mixed race, you have black, you have white. And then I was like, okay, what am I now? Like,
but you know what's the funny thing is, that gonna be a whole. They have people as mixed, but they're not a direct descendant of a white and a black parent.
Yeah.
For you, it's like a somewhere along the line type of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not confusing, but it's just, I guess it's a thing of like, okay, really, what am I guess.
Exactly, because it wasn't confusing to me before.
Yeah.
But now I just felt like I had to have I felt like I had to do 23andMe and go check my DNA so I could come with some, facts. But
like my brother did. But
yeah, I'm going to do it.
I feel like now that you asked the question, that's definitely what you should do, because now you also have the genes from your father in you.
Yeah.
Even though he is a Lushan, there's still always some kind of European
facts. They made their way in there somehow.
Yeah. So it's bringing it back to like the interracial thing. I know how, like, even this, I don't want my child growing up questioning that. Okay. Like, I don't want to have my child that, like, okay, do I like tap into my mother's side of things today, or do I tap into my father's side of things?
Luckily for me, like, I didn't have to do that.
In a Caribbean.
Sense. Exact. My father blasting reggae, jazz. Like, I grew up with the Caribbean culture to a T.
Yeah.
I didn't have, but we traveled to Holland almost every year and stuff. So I did get that side of, like, the white side, you could say, the European side.
Do you feel like that's white, or just Surinamese? Because Surinamese
no, the family side, no, but coming to Holland self.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean.
My family is Surinamese. Yeah, the food, the dance, the everything. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a passing thought. Like,
no, I get you, but I don't know. I have had mixed friends that is just like, it's a very weird thing to have to experience, because you could have white family that also just don't accept you.
Yeah,
because you mixed and they see you as black. You have your black side that is just like, you're a white person to us. And I don't know. I just don't want to put my child to that. I just want a black family. I want black kids. Yeah. If I get, and that's a whole nother conversation.
I just love the seasoning
episode, because I don't know what them children think. But like, like I just can't. I don't have the space for it in my life, honestly.
I get you. For me, I just love the fact that we bring so much. Okay, I'm not saying why. No, I'm saying it that we bring so much culture and seasoning and just.
And what they can bring?
Stampot. Sorry. Yeah.
That's Dutch. But I mean, like, okay, even if you was a white American, what would they bring?
Problems. Like,
oh, fuck.
Sorry. No, in a sense, you should have never said white American. Woo!
I don't know what's worse, Dutch or white American.
Oh, sorry for anybody who's American watching this. No, you know what it is with America? They just love to debate and argue. And they would stand there proudly and say that my country is better than yours. Even like in the midst of you sending facts, statistics, they would just stand there while a house is on fire behind them. But yeah.
But for me, let's not do this to the people. But I was just like, I don't know if white Americans were, they're very like the racism is very prominent.
That's
the Dutch is like, they do it in the most like
sarcastic way.
No, like fucking the ass ways.
No, because
we take it back to slavery. It was like the biggest involved, kind of next to the Portuguese. But like, I don't know. I don't want my child to be a descendant of that. And
okay, I get you.
But how you feel? I know. But it's like, I never asked you really, like, how would it bother you?
You know what it is? I am a very dire business type of person but
as in regards to other people.
Yeah, for me, it's not my preference.
Okay.
And I can't help how I think. It's just not my preference in terms of, like you say, explaining yourself. Like, just in general, being viewed different. I find you feel that, because I feel that in some of my friendships, in some of like just interactions with white people. So yeah, it's not my preference. I'm not against it. Like if I end up with a white guy, cool, but it's just highly unlikely in my eyes. No, like nothing against them. Do your thing. Maybe reflect a little bit and learn more while they doing that. So it's like, just do your thing over there.
So you wouldn't be able to be like a woke white king?
No, because that would annoy me that you would have had to. It would annoy me that you was asleep. Like, I don't know.
No, that you was. That's like the whole like Prince Harry and Meghan thing that like, it's like he just had all these revelations all of a sudden after being with Meghan and spending a bunch of time in Africa. But if you listen to a bunch of the shit he's still very like, speak from a place of like ignorance sometimes.
And that's why I feel like there's that, like you could take a certain amount of steps, but there will always be that point that you can't pass. And that's that point where they still have those conditionings. And that conditioning not going to change anytime soon. It's a conditioning based on your ancestors, based on how you are conditioned from media. All of that needs to be tweaked and adjusted, and then we could see a progressive state of mind. But at this point, the state of mind still in the rubbish. So
but even for me, like I be talking about like white and black, but I was telling somebody recently, like my preference is actually to just be with a Sematino. Like not it. I love black men in general, but for me it's just
sorry.
I don't mind. That's why I say like what I'm trying to say is like I don't mind a Nigerian, I don't mind a Ghanaian, but it's just like I feel like what I was trying to say before is like explaining the blackness of it, but there's the Sematiness of it, and I feel like there's a big difference. For example, even with like a Nigerian and a Sematin person, and I feel like if I end up with a Sematina, like ultimately, if you have a family, there ain't really much debate on how we're gonna raise our child.
Facts.
And there's that in the race part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what do you pass on to your child? I want my child to just be a full-blown Sematina. I don't want my child to feel like I cringe on myself, like hearing back myself, but like I repeat it myself, but I want people to really understand what I'm trying to say, like fully. Like I just can't see my child coming home talking about, mommy, like cook me some mashed potato and sausage
and spinach.
Like or daddy, because in that point it would be the father.
Yeah.
But I want my child to just know that like oxtail is a thing. Like Caribbean soca, whipping is a thing. Like, you know, like
girl is your, honestly and truly, for me is like, you know, I love to learn and I love to experience different people. So that's why I tried African man. I just find
I love African men.
But just that culture and being able
to, like, what the fuck?
I should leave the room. But just being able to learn a new culture and I don't know, find ways to do things differently, experience things differently, experience different music, different food. That for me is where it comes from. Where I would love a Caribbean man. And I would love an African man.
No, but it could work now. Being with a West African man, or because I not necessarily just West Africa, but being with like an African man, like it could, like as long as they have that blackness to it, because I know they're passing down our rich culture.
Yeah.
I say my preference is the Sematina, but I know even if I end up with like a Nigerian, like they're passing down a culture that I'm still proud of. Even though I'm not Nigerian, but I'm proud of Nigerians and I'm proud of Ghanaians because like they also affected. They was also like
but also they're slavery. Very similar to us.
But
in terms of
there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, like when I went there, I felt at home, like heavy in terms of the vibes. You know, we come with vibes and just the food, the togetherness. That was a thing where I noticed where you have soca music. That's unity. Even if you looked at Notting Hill, when we went. People just jamming together. You don't care. You pelting waist. Nobody's stingy. And in Ghana, it was similar where it's like everybody's on a vibe. Yeah. And that's what like I appreciate the most. So
community.
Okay, well.
You come in here with I guess because I come in, you didn't know what question I was gonna come with. You just fucked me up. But I don't know. I don't know. But would you say if you end up with one, you would be settling?
Oh, let's talk about settling versus compromising.
Or you see that's a I don't know if it's a compromise.
Because I feel like there's a conversation. So, like I said, I downloaded Twitter, and I was doing some digging, and there's like a conversation on settling versus compromising, and women was just talking about it to realize how they should approach like situations with men. It had more to do with men, and from my point of view, I see settling and compromising being two completely different things, of course. Settling is in a sense of like you are staying in a situation that goes against your core values. Because I could be compromising where it's like, girl, I want a man who's 6'5" or 6'2" or 6'3", but he's 6. I'm 5'9", so I will settle.
You make it sound like
no, not settle. Sorry.
Like, no, but I mean like Johnny, that's not much.
Man, sorry.
You make it sound like to me settling would be like 5'9", Johnny.
I may compromise.
No, I mean like 6
Short
is still high.
Please. I'm not coming for you. You are all phenomenal. But yeah, no, I would be compromising where it's like, that's a physical feature where it doesn't go against anything.
And settling would be 5'5".
5'8". I'm sorry. It's just a preference, guys. I like to feel small.
Now we tall. People, I don't know if people know that, but we very tall.
We tall. We long.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it's more to that where it's like also if say you living together with a guy, we are not perfect. We all don't like do everything. Say he keeps leaving the toilet seat up, and you talking about it. Some things you checking like, okay, cool. I will compromise. I won't like
those things is coming. You compromise on the toilet seat?
No, but I would call him out about it, and then maybe we can make an agreement.
Yeah.
But as like settling is more so. I really want to bring it across because I didn't really do a deep dive into it, but it's more like say.
I feel like the topic of last week of like a financial, a lot of things like financial could be settling. Like
also his character in terms of like you ambitious, you about it. And you want somebody that aligns with those same characteristics. But now you got a guy, just because he's fine and he probably has a nice car, you check in like, oh, I'm unsettled because, like the surface stuff, or you don't want to be alone.
But really, he just home running video games.
Yeah.
Right.
And I find there's levels to it. I find for me, I feel like you have to establish what settling is for you to realize if you are or not. So establish your boundaries. In a sense, like if you go to a restaurant, no, Tom's supermarket, if you go to Tom's shop and you don't know what you're going for, you're going to just pick up any and everything.
But you ain't going to know what you're going for if you don't know yourself. So
exact. So it's like kind of sit down and establish like, okay, I'm going to bake a cake. I want eggs, flour, and, milk.
Yeah.
But if you're checking like you don't know, you just kind of taking everything. And I think that's similar with like how people move in a sense. I really want to word this proper because.
But you mean you feel like people are settle a lot over here?
I feel like people not busy knowing themselves, which pushes them to settle because sometimes they don't realize it because they haven't realized what they want in themselves. That is my honest opinion. I feel like a lot of people out here filling a gap that they could only fill with themselves, but they doing it with other people. So they think, I'm gonna be happy when I have somebody to love me, do this for me, chiki chiki papa. But it's like, you're not going to be happy then because that's a temporary feeling.
Yeah.
It's like when you go dentist and ching ching. At some point, you're going to be eating a bunch of candy and you're going to feel it right. Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry. But, yeah. So, it's like you got to realize.
Oh, my God. You're over there dying. But
Mando, you could chime in too now because I want to hear your opinion. But,
killing me. No, I get... essentially, what you're trying to say is that, like, people, they out here just going for things that they need to find in themselves.
Yeah.
And
yes,
you're missing something in yourself and you go looking for it in sources and people.
mm-hmm.
But
it's just a band-aid.
Until you find it in yourself, like, you're going to be settling because that's what you need to say.
Yeah, to a level. I feel like you can also find it while being with somebody, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when you have two people who are really open to knowing that they're both growing. And I feel like it's essential when it's done in the beginning, in a sense of, like, people get used to treating people or being treated a certain way. So the settling aspect of it comes into when you don't even realize certain things because you're used to it.
Yeah.
And when you have that time with yourself or just time to reflect, you realize, yo, I'm taking something that I wouldn't normally take, or I'm settling for something that I wouldn't normally settle
I'm
for.
not gonna lie. I can just speak from my personal experience. Like, I was in a very long-term relationship, as people that know me know. And I think at the time I didn't realize. But then this is where it's tricky, because was I settling or was I compromising? Because I was aware of a lot of things, but I just used to be like, by not leaving. So, but it's only afterwards I get out of the situation, I was like, yo, like, what the fuck you was doing? Like, that's wild to me. But that's why I still trying to understand the difference between
settling and compromising.
Yeah.
I think it's settling is where you knowingly, like, crossing a boundary that you set. So,
oh, you see, and I guess that's what you're trying to say. Like, at that time, though, like, Hadie didn't have a boundary.
Exactly.
Because one, I wasn't ever in a relationship before that to know, to, like, have it, to compare it to that. But just also, like, I thinking that this is normal.
Exactly. I'm not gonna lie, for me, it's the same. I still, at this point, haven't properly defined my boundaries. I know them when they get crossed.
Oh.
But I haven't properly. I want to sit down, guys, a task, if you want to do it. Sit down one day and just write down boundaries that you set for yourself. Even in a sense of, like, your perfect partner. When you write those things down, you can write down attributes you want in a partner and whatnot, because that's what you're looking for at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then rank them, maybe. Like, see what's most important to you and realize, like, the top 5 would be you settling if they get crossed. The bottom 5 would be you compromising, where it's like, these are not that much of a priority.
Yeah.
I could compromise, because at the end of the day, we are different. So you're not going to mesh fully with anybody.
Yeah.
But if you know, like, your boundaries, and you know, okay, this is something I will never cross, you won't when it comes along. Because I didn't know that. I could speak for myself too. I had situations where, like, so I've been single for 7 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So there was times where I was just checking people and I was like, oh, this is fun. But it wasn't pouring into me the way I know that I like to be poured into. And that's where I realized, okay, no, I need to work on loving myself. And then reaching that point where it's like, I gonna know when somebody here to love me because I love myself.
But you were just taking whatever little drop.
Bye.
You got.
Yeah, bye.
Nah. I think for me, like, that's my experience was a big thing for me though is like, but that's because I see it a lot growing up, and like a lot of the times, a lot of women just do that. It's like it's like to say the man wearing the pants in a relationship. But I have seen a lot of relationships where the women just doing everything. Like, the woman running the household, the woman know, like, what money gotta go to what this month. She know everything about the children's, like, school schedules, meetings. She know when you gotta pick them up from school and bring them to the next like extracurricular activity. But you know, or you also want to go vacation, how we gonna say, like, the woman doing all of those things and cleaning, cook, like let's, and but then she still have her own job and her own stress. I feel like I grew up with a lot of women like that in my life. So for me, that was my example. Yeah. So like, I just naturally went into that role, and it was just like, looking back, it's like, no, this Hadie, I'm not never doing that. Like, I find it wild that, like, a lot, and I think that's a Caribbean thing now, or maybe it's a Black thing. I don't know what it is because I see
It's
a
a
lot
both.
of white men. I just them just now, but like I see a lot of white men that don't let their wife like. They just really like like they gonna make sure they cook today. They gonna also make sure like I have a lot of colleagues like it's their duty today to pick up their children. Like they know exactly what's going on in their children's lives. Like
the boundaries are clear,
very,
and the rules are clear. Yeah,
but looking back, like I just thought that was normal, and that's why I say like I didn't know if I was settling or compromising based off of like
experiences.
And I think that's what you're trying to say, that like now that I've been through that, that's a clear boundary for me.
Yeah, because you know what it is, I've also experienced that level of like somebody treating you proper in sprinkles. You know, it's like you get it from different guys in a different way, in a sense. Like there's proper like guys out there, but it's of course based on your preference. But like I'm a bit of a princess, so I like to be treated, princess treatment. But
you see, even that, do you think we just say that as princessy, but like it's because we are accustomed of like I used to walk around saying like, yeah, I don't like romance. But that's because I never experienced it.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's another boundary moving forward. I want a man to romance me. So don't say you're a princess.
Ain't Serrani got a song? Romance me, girl.
Oh, yes.
Wait, but
like, so don't say you're a princess. Just say that's some shit that you want.
It is though. Like, I'm a hopeless romantic till the day I die.
Yeah.
I would forever be a liver girl. So for me, it's like just to have that reciprocation is wild. And I feel like you don't have that nowadays because it's vulnerable. It's simping. People have added names to so many things and started conversations that did not need to be started, in my opinion. Where it's like, yo, just do what you want to do. Like, you don't know how many things I see on TikTok of manipulation and this and that. Have you ever heard of the whisper technique? People out here whispering man them name so they could think about whisper for global warming to end.
But whisper man name for what?
Like for them to think about them.
Is that serious?
What kind of
guys, no, it is wild. Like when I was on TikTok, I don't know.
But I just show you that man, I'm just not showing up how they. Well, I'm gonna say. Well, we said we wasn't gonna come for the man, but I'm gonna come for the man them today. Like man, I'm just not showing up how they're supposed to, in a lot of times.
I'm gonna say something.
Wow.
I find a lot of man and bad bitches today. Oh my days. Guys, I'm not coming for you. Mando, you could speak on me, and I'm really not coming for all of them. If you know you're not a bad bitch, don't get hurt. But a lot of man them these days, I feel like pulling up with bad bitch energy. Like they want me to pay for their like even the chasing culture where it's like now they want a female to chase them. I feel like nobody should have a one-sided chase. We both chasing each other. If it reaches a point where I'm chasing you and I don't get it back in return because you think that's gonna make me like you more, the door is right there, because I don't like those games. And I feel like nowadays it's become a thing of like they want me to take them out in a
Wow crab in here, please.
At this point, we need to send them this episode and last episode and get some sponsorship.
For real. Honestly, we're gonna send them some crap. But yeah, that's honestly how I feel. Whoever it hurts, maybe do some reflection, because I know there are proper guys out there for sure.
Where?
Somewhere. They home. They are not outside.
Sorry. There's one in front of us.
I'm just here enjoying the show, but they got a lot of soy boys out there though.
Soy boys? What's a soy boy?
Fake men.
Oh, you telling us?
You're gonna have to explain that though.
Boy.
Yeah. Fake men in what?
In what sense?
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Well, in that sense too, like in essence of playing a woman's game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The manipulation thing.
Yeah, and all of these, I call them the Instagram or Twitter tactics. You know?
Yeah. No, but you should call it TikTok tactics.
You know what I mean though, but this new way of handling things and
yeah.
What
do you feel about it though? Speak on the man. Yo, you speaking for the men. Speak like
I could speak for myself.
Yeah,
facts.
You know?
Facts.
A lot of man them different, so I can't really speak on behalf of a lot of man's self.
Okay. I get you. Well, yeah. I don't know. For me, it's just a matter of people should just chase each other because they want to chase you shouldn't be chasing. People should
They should attract. Opposites should attract.
Not
That's what she
necessarily
meant to say.
opposite. Like, I don't know if I believe in that saying either, but like,
no, but
you just
if you
mean
like,
just if you like somebody, just express that shit. Like, I feel like everybody just out here like
playing
scared.
games,
being shy
waiting
and
hours
shit,
to like the thing of waiting an hour to respond because they took an hour to respond. Yo, I'm replying. Like,
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I just be like, if you message me and I see it, I could just answer. Like, I'm not playing this.
Yeah, shit like that. But like, even so, people are busy now. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I was gonna say because I take forever to respond. But what I appreciate is
Jody could take days.
Thank you for saying that because when I do it to people, they think it's only them who getting it. Everybody gets
a while, but like it had times you take days to answer.
It was bad. You know, the worst I went was like I took 2 months to answer somebody, and I should have just leave it. But I was like, I sent them a voice note. I was like, I'm really sorry. But yeah, no, it's just a matter of you're not playing a game. You're not doing something because you want a specific reaction. You're doing something because I want to talk to you, so I'm going to call you right now.
But I feel like that's how everybody just look at love and relationships, that it is a game to be played and you want to win that fuck.
Yeah, and now it's a game of who cares less, where it's like, you know you like the person, but the person who cares the least got the most power. Is mind-boggling to me. And I'm not going to lie, guys.
Again, the person that what?
The person that cares the least has the most power.
That's wild.
It is wild because at the end of the day, you don't have the most power. Love is powerful. And if you could be vulnerable to that emotion, I genuinely feel that love is so difficult sometimes because you have to address yourself. If you're falling in love with somebody, you noticing parts of yourself that you're checking like, wow, this is something I need to work on. But you running from that because you're so comfortable in it. But this person is making you want to be your best self. Yeah. But now it's becoming scary. So now you want to play a game of manipulation. I think that's quite weak. Just saying.
Ooh. But even in that, then you settle for somebody that's not going to come. Like, what you just said, no, people that have women. Are you talking about man just now? That this person saying, this person calling out a lot that you have in yourself. So a lot of people just run from that and go for people that wouldn't, for example.
Yo.
And to me, because that's important, like I like having people around me that do call me out. Because how the fuck else I can grow and become a better person? But like, I can't run from things like that.
No, but that's the thing. You different in a sense of even how we interact. I could call you out. And that accountability is there. Yeah. But a lot of people shy away from accountability because a lot of people have this whole right or wrong, bad or good mindset on things. And if you mess up, you mess up. But when you're getting called out on it, it's like, oh shit, they telling me I did a bad thing or they telling me I'm wrong. No, I'm telling you, you got to work on this. Simple.
But you feel like that's a man thing, a girl thing, like both?
I think it's a human thing. Like, I genuinely don't want to aim it at anybody because it really is a widespread thing. It's not only apparent in relationships, it's also friendships. You know how many times I had to G-check myself? And that's also based on before my level of lacking that accountability. In a sense of, I always was reflecting on myself, but there are times where people would call me out and be like, they chatting shit. Sorry. Like, you don't address that because you're checking like, nah, that what you telling me, you know? So I feel like,
I feel like that all the time, bro.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God. Nah, but I get what you're saying. I think it boils down to like everybody experiences, once again, preferences and what we talk about, boundaries, whether you settling or compromising. But now in this day and age, like people just going with the flow of the TikTok shits and playing the game of it instead of just actually like realizing that you're not a infamous simp. Because I don't feel like it's a women thing. I feel like women forced now to like play harder or act like they don't have feelings.
I got something to say.
Because they don't want to come across like, I don't want to come across like that girl that too much into you because they're not gonna make you run away. They're gonna push you away. And like he done moving, like he don't care. So it's like I gotta also match that. So we have it in both ways. Like man, them coming through like bad bitches, but the girls them coming through like
man them.
Like man.
I have something to say based on that. Like somebody put it in proper words. Let me see if I can remember it. Women are becoming the man they look for, and men are becoming the bitches they complain about.
That shit deep.
That is so true.
When I heard that, my brain got itched a little bit. I was like, wow, that was wild. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense because I reach a point where I've been so independent. And it's like, I just feel like I can't rely on a guy because they show me enough that the lack of consistency, the lack of for me, the main thing is the genuine approach to me. Don't come to me on different intentions, not be straight up about it, and then move wild when I check in like, nah, this ain't it.
Nah, you gotta give me an example.
In a sense, some man them love bombing you. Love bombing is a thing where y'all shiny objects, you get excited and it's like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, you're so this. Oh, you're so that. And I feel like, I don't know, like hold your horses. Like come in as you, be simple. Don't try to make me feel a type of way because you're scared you're going to like lose that control in a sense.
Yeah.
I trying to speak on, because I never really speak on it like that, but just in general, when you come in a situation where you getting to know somebody, like pull up as yourself. I feel like a lot of people pull up with this agenda and that's not necessary, because at the end of the day, if you want to get to know me and build a genuine connection, you wouldn't be thinking, oh, I should take a while to reply so that, you know, or oh, I shouldn't like.
But there's the opposite of that. There's what you're talking about with the love bombing. There's like men are aware that like if I take her out tonight, if I call her, if I answer every message one time, that like she gonna know I'm interested in her and I got her.
Yes.
Like
if you know you can't keep that up, don't do that.
Don't.
Because you giving a level of consistency that gonna become so inconsistent that I gonna be checking like what is going on. And it's a battle to a level in your self-esteem for a lot of women. I was one of them at some point where I was checking like somebody was so into me and I get comfortable and I start to, the layers starting to peel back. And because of that whole love bombing or just really chasing kind of approach, when it started to deplete, I was like, shit, did I do something like,
oh, you put it on yourself.
Yeah, like, is my forehead too big? Like, yo. Guys, I love my forehead. But no, you really start to second guess yourself. And that's something where it's like.
And that's the after effects, because the next time you're going to then try to like, okay, let me cover my forehead.
Yeah,
so that
I
like,
ain't covering that. Not a frick.
No, but I'm trying to say that like, in ways that because we then think, oh, we the problem, and we start like putting shit on ourselves and internalizing it. As we meet another person, it's like, I'm going to just not show up as that, and I'm going to just be more hard, and I'm not going to show certain things because I know we just out here damage. Point blank, period. That's the man them damage and the girl them damage, and this is just how
damage is damage.
It going.
Yeah, but just to go off on a positive note on that, it's like that's why you should focus on loving yourself, because that won't happen in this journey of me, because it's still a journey. Like loving myself, finding myself. You know, even since we started this podcast, I've journaled so much because I feel like now we're gonna get feedback, input, and there's so many opinions, so many perspectives. They are valid. However, I need to make sure I know who I am and how I feel about things, because even with the whole love thing, I never been in love, so I can't speak on it like that. But I love love.
Yeah,
I love it. Like I don't know, it's beautiful, and for me, it's like. My aim now is just to be so in tune with who I am, love who I am, that regardless of however a man react to it, I'm going to keep it moving.
Yeah, true.
Like, if you're not with it, bye. Like, somebody going to be.
Tell them.
Yeah.
But you know, we've been going for like the relationship wise, and I was thinking about like settling and compromising. And I see this thing the other day that we're like, you have that in relationships romantically, but I feel like you could also have that in your friendship. And the person was talking about like how we place a certain, like you place a role on a person as your friend.
Yeah.
And then get disappointed when they don't show up that way because you have your expectations of that role. But I don't mean necessarily that like that person feel like it's their duty to show up.
And it really isn't.
That
They
way.
don't, yeah. For me, girl.
But with that, there's like, there's people that like, they know their friends have specific things that they personally, because as you say, it's not their role. It's not their duty to show up that way.
Yeah.
But that's a thing that you have to then know, like, do you compromise in that?
Yeah.
Is that like a settling thing? Because I could want my friend to like what we was talking about last week. Like, I could be the friend that don't call much, but a friend could want that like I at least call every couple of weeks or something. But that's not them. But then at what point is it like, boy, like, do I compromise and just pick up the phone and call every day just because they want to?
I feel like y'all have to meet in the middle, in a sense. Like, it's easier said than done, 110%.
That's still compromising then, though.
But now both of you are compromising because they are, like, not so onto the calling as much as they would have been if you were to compromise fully and call them every day. So,
but what if the person just, like, I still want to be called? Then
they need to go check themselves. You got shit to do. You want to be called every day? Sheesh. Like, I don't even like when people call me every day. So
no, but that was just an example now. I just not coming every day. yo, like, no, but that's just an example of like the things we expect out of friends, not necessarily like your boyfriend or your girlfriend. And it's having to like navigate that even in friendships.
Facts. Do you feel like it's been something that you, I don't know, experience in friendships, and how, in a sense?
I feel like if I think back on like who I was as a person, I feel like I never used to do any. Like, I never used to, no, I used to feel like I used to just settle. Like, I could see my friends have whatever ways or whatever it was, and I used to be like, okay, that's just them. They're my friends, so I gotta sit here and take it, and
it is whatever.
But and now I think I really understand the difference as we speak in here now. Because the crazy thing is, you bring it up. I was really like, what's really the difference? And I feel like that was a lot of settling. Like, even for us, like, we grew up on a small island. I know a lot of people just from different places, whether it was school, ballet, whatever. And I just feel like because we get older, we feel like, okay, this person have to stay in my life, even though they have ways that, like, you know, that you wouldn't fuck with if you had just meet this person, to be honest. But then now as I get older, the friends I do have around, even though they could have their ways, is like, I have the type of friends I could communicate to. Yeah. And like, we do make the compromise of like, I know that's you, but I would like if like you just adjust this. Exactly. Like a little bit for me, so that like I don't feel like I maybe, for example, walking on eggshells or like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like I definitely used to settle. And as I get older, I just was like, I'm not fucking with it. Like, I don't care how long we've been friends. There's certain requirements you need to meet. Here's the list. And I don't know if that's a fuck up thing. No. But like, it depends on like, it depends on like how strict you are with your list, I find. Because for me, I could speak from past experience. I used to be hard on my friends. Whew! Like if they didn't meet the standard. Yeah, but I'm the type of person, I call out everything. Like, some things I had to realize, not all, what did they say? Not all battles is worth fighting. Yeah. Like, it really isn't, where it's like, that's where the compromise comes in. However, I had the point where it's like, I'm not settling. And that's when, if I call you out on the same thing and we don't come to like terms with it, or the way about it is petty or anything like that, that's when it's like, yo, this is not for me. But that doesn't mean I completely cut you off, because I was talking to you. I was talking to you
And I was telling you, I was telling you, yo, I forget. I was telling you, like, I really come to terms with you experience people in seasons, and your seasons won't always be aligned. Because I'm even looking at myself, like, I'm on this whole wave of like, I'm moving just now, so my focus is heavy, and I'm really into like building myself up and all of that stuff. And I realized that was trickling out into my friendships, where I was like, I'm doing it. You need to be honest too. Hello.
Yeah.
But people move at their own pace, and they move in their own season. So sometimes you realize, okay, maybe let them do what they're doing from afar, because I do have expectations. I do have standards. And it's like, if I don't feel like that reciprocity is there because you in your own season, do your thing. I'm in mine, and I'm going to keep like cultivating that.
I see that still a little bit separately though. I feel like, because what you described just now about yourself, that like, because Jody is very much, and I admire that so much about you, like you're very much on your shit. You know what I mean?
It took a minute, like, guys.
You talking about the fact that you realize that like you had people around you that wasn't.
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
I wouldn't say they're not on this shit, but
not necessarily not on this shit, but they just what?
They're not on the same shit. Like, it's not in the same restroom. It's a whole different
same shit, different toilet, or just different
yeah,
toilet?
like in a sense of how they think, how they move, but even me approaching situations. A big thing for me is like, you could have standards for your friendships. It's okay. Just like you would have standards for a man. It's those boundaries. If we can't openly discuss that, the season dead. Like, the season cut. She gone bye-bye. Because there's obviously no like progress.
And that's to me the difference. Because I think what I thought what you were just trying to describe is that like, if a person not necessarily on where you on, then they're in a different season. But I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
I see it as like, and that's where we go back to the whole compromising and settling thing. Is like, people could just be on different things. I work Monday to Friday, you don't.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily mean that like we're not on some same kind of shit. You know what I mean? Exactly. And that don't mean that I am some different season that you on. It's just that like
we doing things in a different way, but it's in the same.
Yeah, but also what you were saying just now is just, I don't know, like that don't necessarily mean that this person don't deserve to be in your life. You just accept them as they are.
Exactly.
But I don't have to necessarily cut you off for certain things.
Yeah.
Figure what I mean? I feel like I sidetrack you again.
No, but that's what I was saying. Like, for me, is I will cut you off where is those boundaries are crossed. And
oh yeah, sorry, I lose my train of thought. I was trying to say that like that's okay, but for me the line is drawn if I come to you to talk about something and that fuck go left, that's where we in two different seasons.
Exactly.
Like, that's why I say like we could. This is what I was trying to say, guys. Let me bring it back to it.
She catch it.
I caught myself. Like, I was trying to say like, it's okay that people could be on different shit. People could have the different ways. But if we can't like openly communicate on that, that's where it's like, you clearly.
I leave in the chat.
That's where it's like, where it's like, nah.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, we are growing. And just like they say, you could outgrow people. That's why you outgrow people. Because you're not able anymore to have those conversations where you reach this like level of, I don't know, wisdom. And now you see certain things, or even level of self. Because as you find yourself more, you realize more your boundaries and what you're not going to take.
True.
So it's just that matter of, if I can't discuss that with you openly and we could reach a compromise. Yeah. Because I don't expect you to go from 1 to 10 now.
Yeah.
But if you already showing that you're not even go to 1.5, you can stay over there. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah. But I think everybody should be like met with a level of grace when you're in these situations, because like we was talking about, people could be going through stuff, and there's just, people are really sometimes battling with themselves and you don't see it. So especially with my friends, it's like, okay, I could be setting these boundaries, but I want to also be aware of like where their headspace is at now, because maybe they may need me to show up a certain way, but I'm so busy thinking on how they could show up
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think we was very much on polar opposites of this conversation. I think you was the person that used to call out every shit.
everything.
Whereas that could also eventually become a problem. And I used to just not call out a lot of shit to the point where it get too much. When I do call it out, like it blow up.
It blow up, yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas now I find a balance in knowing how to navigate that.
Yeah.
But
because
yeah,
I think where it becomes a problem is if honestly you calling out every minor thing. Because I have had picky friends and they're not here anymore. Like, they're like, honestly,
but picky in what way?
They will pick at everything I do. Where it's like, yo, we are all human. Like,
but you see, I think that's where it blew up for me. That I could have just not say anything at a certain point. That when I start picking, it's like, where the fuck this come from?
Yeah,
because I've been this way. But it's like, because I never say shit, it come across as like,
yeah.
But then at that point, it's too late and then shit gonna go left.
I have a question.
Anyway,
like I said in the last episode, I don't know how it's going to land, but how it land, it land. Do you feel like there's a level of conditioning you set in your friendships, and when you approach with boundaries and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like, say, okay, I'm gonna give an example. So I have friends who live in Amsterdam. Like, I would go Amsterdam to see them. But in the beginning, I just was like, yo, I come in Amsterdam. I'm coming Amsterdam. So that level of conditioning came where it's like, oh, we expect Jody to pull up. So
that's
it's like,
crazy. I had that.
Yeah, I'm not really going to come Rotterdam. But it reached a point where I was like, yo, like, guys,
you could
come visit me.
Like,
you know?
Come and see me.
Yeah.
Come and see me. No, but I had that. It was even worse. I used to live Groningen.
Yeah.
And my friends know this. Like, all of them, I call them out already on all of it. Like, I could count on my hands how much times my friends come to visit me. And I get it. The train ride is long.
Yeah.
But it just had become a thing of like, but I think because it became a thing of, okay, Hadie could be in Den Haag next weekend anyways. So it's like, why?
Now they're used to it.
Yeah. So you do that.
No, but when you going in with like boundaries and stuff, should I forget the question?
But but at what point though? Because it's like you could have a friend now that you've been in your life and it's already like the condition in being there. So it's like, how do you address this now? Or you mean like you meet somebody new and should I go in with like the
no, it's the one that been there for time.
Okay.
Where it's like the conditioning is there, so kind of how do you address it?
Compromise. Like, go back to the thing we talking about. Like, if you can't go to a person and be like, I would like you to jump on a train for me now and then, and they just like, I can't, then I can't either. So it's like, you know,
I get you.
That's how I see it. To me, the biggest thing in all of these things is just, well, specifically friendships, is just being able to like hash it out and then keep it moving after that. I don't know.
No, I get you. To be honest, I feel like I knew the answer to that question, but I thought it was going to go a different way.
For me?
No, just in general, because I thought there would be like some crazy epiphany. But it's just really straightforward.
It really boils back down to the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh, well, it makes sense, girl. But
yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
We been talking.
We've been talking. I feel like this is a lot of heavy topics.
Yeah. But it's necessary.
It is necessary.
And look, I don't know. I feel like I learned some stuff today. You know, like with these conversations, I like to hear your perspective. But even the people them perspective. I know we're gonna get a perspective in a sense, and I'm okay.
Yeah, I feel like with these topics, I could hear your perspective, but I'm not gonna change my opinion. Even the thing we were talking about from the beginning with the interracial dating, I'm sorry, that's not gonna change.
Yeah, it's a preference.
Just I don't know. I feel like what we talk about afterwards, like that ain't necessarily something that people could come and tell me that is like. I just feel like if we can't communicate about things, like the door over there, like and I feel like a lot we very much like, okay, we gonna compromise, but a lot of people is just like, let shit slide in their friendships, and that is just not me, for example. But
I get you. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I get you. I here for all of this.
Nah, but I mean, but this being said, I want people to still comment, and I want people to like last time I didn't tell people, like, if you were listening on Spotify, follow.
Yes.
Or if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, share.
all of that fun stuff. Like
all of it.
we here for it. I went on YouTube and I saw the comments and I didn't know there was comments.
I didn't check the comments yet. I didn't check the comments yet.
I don't know. It's just cool. The interaction is cool. And it was just after the first episode. Like it was, guys, you excite us. Like I'm here for all of this. It was really exciting to see just the feedback, how y'all think, and just the faith in us in a sense where it's like, yo, guys, are you vibes? It's gonna be, proper. So keep it up.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not because we could tell the people where all they could find us now. We on Deezer, Apple Music,
YouTube,
Apple
Spotify.
Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. On Spotify, hopefully you could just leave a question down below or maybe even state your opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm just really interested to see how people got to say.
Me too. Like, guys, we're going to keep giving y'all unfiltered, honest conversations. They may be tough sometimes, but thank you. It's bite the bullet. So, yeah, this was episode numero dos.
Yeah.
We did it. 2-2. So, yeah, we're going to see y'all bi-weekly.
On Tuesdays.
Yes.
Next time, we're going to be in a different location. I got to tell the people.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a surprise.
No, but just so we're not going to be here.
Nah, this couch ain't going to be in the video, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about that location and why we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we keep it moving.
God bless.
Thank y'all again for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for the feedback. And we'll see y'all soon.
Yes. Bye.